Hi, class. So, today I will be speaking about the collective unconscious and the psychoanalytic theory, which is topic one in our video project presentation. The children's story that I chose to represent these theories is The Wizard of Oz. First, I will begin by giving a quick summary about the movie. Basically, a tornado hits Kansas, which is where Dorothy lives. Her and her dog were knocked unconscious when they suddenly wake up in the magical land of Oz. They meet several characters throughout the way, like Glinda the Good Witch, the Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow. They travel down the yellow brick road to get to the wizard, but in order to earn his help or his trust, they must bring the Wicked Witches of the West's broom. I'll start off by speaking about Jung's collective unconscious. Originally, Jung followed a Freudian theory of unconscious until he created his own, which was the collective unconscious, and it was basically an innate disposition that represented our human behavior. He created archetypes, which were basically that they basically constitute this structure. Throughout this movie, I was able to find different archetypes that fit the characters in the movie. The ones that I came across were Dorothy, which she served as the maiden archetype. She was the innocent one, the one that had to go through the journey and needed help from everybody else. Glinda the Good Witch is considered the mentor because she mentored Dorothy throughout the way. She was the one that helped Dorothy pass many obstacles that she faced. Toto, her dog, is considered the trickster because he put a lot of obstacles in her way, and it's because of him that she ended up in the land of Oz in the first place. Next comes the flying monkeys, which serve as the shadow archetype. They're actually the evil that we're capable of having. They help the Wicked Witch of the West also place obstacles in her journey. Next comes the Wizard of Oz, which is considered the persona archetype. He actually puts out himself to be to the world something that in reality he's not. He's considered the public figure, and until Toto allows us to discover who he truly is, we think that he's capable of anything, which is exactly what he wants the world to think. Next comes the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion. Though they have flaws of character, they're considered the heroes because they end up saving Dorothy and they actually help her throughout the way. Um, and finally comes Uncle Henry and Auntie Anne, which are considered the father and mother figure, because at the beginning of the movie, that is what we can see, that they are actually the ones setting up a structure for her. Next, we'll be speaking about Freud's psychoanalytic theory, which deals with the ego, the superego, and the id. The ego is basically the part of our brain that's responsible with dealing with our reality. The superego is our moral standards, which are set by our society and by our parents and the people around us. Next is the id, which is considered our instinctive primitive behaviors. I was able to place these in different characters in the movie. I consider Dorothy to be the superego because she was able to balance between what is real and what is a dream. This whole movie takes place in her dream. Glinda, the Good Witch, is considered the ego because she's Dorothy's voice of reason. She helps her throughout the journey accomplish many obstacles, like I stated before. And finally, the Wicked Witch of the West is considered the id because she's selfish and she acts upon impulses without caring about the consequences. So Freud put a lot of emphasis on dreams. He considered them to be the royal road to the unconscious and when our lower defenses and ego. This whole movie takes place in Dorothy's dream, though she's unaware. Inside her dream is when she was able to battle different situations and she was able to come to different results. She was able to experience different parts of her unconscious inside her dream, which is what Freud put a lot of emphasis on about ourselves. Finally, both Jung and Freud would agree that in this movie there was a lot of conflict that needed to be resolved. Both would agree that in the dream is where she was able to come across many obstacles that allowed her to actually come to a conclusion and a result. A lot of this movie is based on the personality of the characters. Due to the different personalities of the characters, Dorothy was actually able to get through her journey and achieve what she needed to achieve. Freud focused more on the id, the ego, and the superego in order for us to battle with the situations that we face in reality. Jung focused more on, on finding the true self and created archetypes for different types of people that played a role in our own lives. Both Freud and Jung would agree that Oz is considered the unconscious, and though she did not know that she was in a dream, she actually found that at the end and was able to better understand what had actually happened.